We're going to start off our evening tonight with our startup stories. Gary Gottlieb, do you want to come up here and tell us who we're talking to today? I feel like we need a presentation, a formal introduction from Gary Gottlieb. He does so much better than I do, by the way.
Thank you, Haz. Tonight we have a very special gentleman, born in Tehran, Iran, came to fulfill the American dream. I met him a few months ago, and he's an entrepreneur. But first off, he's an inventor, and he's inquisitive. And as he will tell his story and reveal to you, he's probably not unlike yourself, other than he had the challenge of language, culture, and not understanding the American way. And his education was of great value to him. He went to some of the best universities in Iran. But when the Shah was eliminated and the new regime took over, he felt all of the repression that anyone could that was there. And his dream was to come to the United States. And when he came here, his dream was a little crushed, only for the fact that he wasn't so welcomed coming from where he was. And some of you here tonight may have experienced that. He's overcome, and he has the spirit of entrepreneurship. He likes to create, he likes to solve problems, and he has the essence of entrepreneurship and what we consider the American way. He's quite an intelligent individual, and he's unique. But you all are unique, because if you're here tonight, you are the heart of what drives America. 33 million small businesses in this country run 80% of all the jobs in this country. Think about that. 80%. And each one of you want to join those ranks. You employ America. You are the future of America. And this gentleman wants to be a part of that. I'll turn it back over to you.
All right. Shah, come on up for startup stories. Thank you, Gary. Thank you so much. All right, Shah, welcome to the stage. So welcome everyone to a series. By the way, very nervous. Lorraine usually does this. I'm not. Yeah, I'm very nervous. Thank you, Lena. That's my daughter, by the way. All right. So this is a series here we hold at Tech Alley Henderson called Startup Stories, where we talk to the startup. And I have some questions here. I've been known to go rogue, so I'll go easy on you if I can. So first of all, tell us who you are, what's your name, and what do you like to go by?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I'm really proud of myself that I finally came up to this place that is very unique. I looked a lot around to find this place, and I'm happy that I'm here. So I'm proud of myself first that I've made so far, and I encourage others who are looking for places like this to also do the same and come here. So each one of you are amazing, because each time I talk with anyone, I'm impressed. So thank you for having me here.
All right.
A little bit about myself. As Gary, my friend, said, I'm from Iran. I was born in a day that Apollo 11 launched the moon. And I was always surprised that why me? Why in that time? Is it aligned? Why moon is important? And so I'm just this little boy. And from there, my curiosity encouraged me to learn more and study more. And more I dig into this science, more I was confused, and more I was surprised, and more, I was more encouraged to learn more and more and develop myself. So I'm from my family. My father was a diplomat in the embassy of Iran in the Shah regime, the previous regime. So I had a chance to go around and meet other cultures, such as Hong Kong, Indonesia, Philippines. I mean, not Philippines, but Malaysia, Dubai, you name it. I was always with my dad when I was younger. So when I met those people, those kids, those are also simple kids that they were curious, and they always come up with some questions. We ask each other. And it was surprising me how they lived. So I was 7, 8 years old, or about 10, 11 years old, the revolution happened. I went back to Iran. That fancy life from up there dropped down. And that was a pain, because all the 5, 6 languages that I learned has to go away, and I have to start with the new languages. Anyways, a little bit about me is that over there I started learning things to match myself with that culture, which is Iran. I couldn't adapt myself, so I started to try to come out. I was a little bit earlier than my peers to attend to the university. In Iran, there's only one chance, 1 year, that you can take the test, and according to your score, they send you somewhere in the city, somewhere in the whole Iran. I was the 11th grade that I took the test just to test it out, although my grades at school was horrible, but because of the system over there.
A few people can speak to that here, right? The grades at school are horrible, right?
So I got enough score to go to to mathematics in the field of computer, but the professor asked me, what do you like? My answers was, I like robots, I like ghosts, I like dinosaurs and UFOs, things like that. He said, you better go to physics. So that's where my journey started. So I went to physics, and an earthquake happened over there, and the earthquake was so bad that one of my friends lost 82 of his family members, first family members, in like 10, 15 minutes. So that was horrible for me. And I was so amateur to understand what's happening that I thought that earthquakes only happen under the cities that people live. Because each time I hear news about people died because of the earthquake. So I started my study there, and I got my bachelor in physics, solid state and nuclear, and I tried to change my country, and here I am. 2009, I came to the United States, and I got my master's in management information systems here at the age of 46, which I thought I'm the oldest, but no, there were other people. And then the COVID happened, and that's the story a little bit about me.
All right, everybody has a backstory. I love it. Yeah, give him a hand. Great origin story.
Thank you.
And then you became super scientist.
No.
Tell us about your product, your natural time systems. Give us the 30-second version of it, because I spent some time with you, right? We talked
Yes.
about it, right?
Yes.
And it's going to take more than 30 seconds to explain, but give us a 30-second version of it.
Okay, 30-second version is that we are all lost by the mechanical things and the technology around us and all these, sophisticated devices that we created, cars and everything, that we are now lost in the nature. The first question I always ask people is that, are you a part of the nature or not? Are we a part of the nature? If we are part of nature, why we're not aligned with the nature, like all the other species? We are not. We get lost. But we were before at once. Our ancestors in the caves wake up by sunrise and sleep at sunset. We are not doing that anymore. And everything is mechanical and artificial now. And it hurts us. And when we go to the doctor, to a psychologist, he tells us to sleep on time. What does on time means? When we do everything we want to do, we always refer to our moods. But our moods change every day, every hour. Nobody taught us these things. Anyways, I tried to understand these things, and I came up that the problem is the clock. The clock that we have is actually separated us from nature. It's not correct. So that's where I started working on that I started when I was like 7, 8 years old, and ended up me here sitting in front of you.
So to summarize what I've talked to you in the past is basically the time zones that we're in right now, those are not natural time zones. Those are man-made time zones,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
And your app or your technology says that wherever you are in the world, you use this technology to identify exactly not just the time where you're at, but it's based on the location as well.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
What am I missing?
Well, that's correct. Actually, everybody in the world is in a location that experiencing the nature in a different way. When you go to Alaska, it's totally different than the people who are in the equator. Okay, and the season in the north hemisphere is totally opposite than the season in the southern hemisphere. So when you communicate with different people, different part of the world, they experience different understanding of the time, right, and the nature around them. So let me go back and tell you this where it come from. So when I was like 7, 8 years old, I used to wake up by sunrise, right? And I had like about a certain fixed time to catch the bus to go school, and that every time changed because the sunrise was changing. So every time I was waking differently than the day before, and my time was different each time. So I was wondering why they don't align it with the sunrise, so it could be much easier for me. So I always have 2 hours, for example. So one day I'll wake up like 6:30, and the next day I'll wake up 6:31, and the next day 6:32. But the time that I have to go and catch the bus is always fixed. For example, 7:30. So the time fluctuated each time. And also the noon is not at noon. It's not, the sun is not exactly above us at noon. It's supposed to be in the highest part of the sky. Why it's not? Okay, so I had some questions like this starting from when I was 7, 8 years old, when I was going to school in that time, and it developed me. That question kept coming to me, and I experienced that in all the other stuff. Another question is that many of our scientists, when they are looking in the nature to find the event, they found a problem. The problem is that our time system is not correct. So, for example, if an earthquake happens here at 12, the LA people will say also it happened here at 12. But did it? No, because the sun is different position here at noon, at that time when it was in the LA. But we are in the same time zone. So there are three major problems that we have in our mechanical time. One of them is the time zone. The other one is the DST. Every 6 months they have to fix the DST because it's 1 hour difference. Anybody ask why there's 1 hour difference? The other thing is AM, PM. If I show you a time like it's 2, you don't know if it's 2 o'clock or it's 14. You don't know if it's morning unless you see the sign AM or PM. So this confuses people around the world, right? So we have artificial device, and we want the nature to match itself with the device. What does it mean? If we have to go and find different sources to give us the sunrise time, sunset time, moonrise, moonset, and all the other elements of the nature. And we all put them together in our brain, try to digest that and come up with a plan for our schedule in the day. Why don't we have one platform, all of them, same place, make it just easy?
And
that's how I came up with the Solunex.
what does that answer? What market gap or customer pain point are you filling here by creating this technology? Or basically pulling back the curtains on how to tell real time. I mean, when we talked, you said, for example, I wake up at 5 a.m. Don't judge me. And we said 5 a.m. here is different than 5 a.m. in California because the sun comes out here, but at 5 a.m. in Orange County does not come up yet. So what are we solving for by saying that, well, technically, it's really more like 6:10 over here versus 5 a.m. over there?
Yes, so how can I say that? So we have two kind of lives. We have indoor life, we have outdoor lives, right? When you're indoor, you're surrounded by some technical things, some electricity, something you can turn on the light and turn off whatever you want, set the alarm the way you like, okay? It's artificial. But when you're outdoor, which a majority of our activities are outdoor, it's not like that. We cannot turn on and off the light from the sun. We cannot set the alarm for sunrise. Many of our calendars are based on lunar activities. Many people are following that, okay? So when you go outside, we have a lot of problems that people are confronting. Specifically, if I want to just name a few, people who are hunting, they have these problems because animals don't follow our artificial devices. People who are hiking, also when they want to go out, they confront with some wind speed, for example, the direction, the electromagnetic field of the earth, and things like that. More people who are surfing, people who are living by the coast, the tide is different each time. And many people think that the gravity changes, and the only effect of the gravity is those tides, the water comes up and down. But don't you think that we have 70% water in our body? So when the gravity affects, it affects our water and our liquids in our body as well. And it circulates and it goes in our brain and it somehow affects us, okay? Animals, the same thing. I found out that in specific phases of the moon, animals behave different. Not to be mistaken, but the movie Thriller by Michael Jackson, okay? Because But animals change. So I just did some survey, asked some people from the doctors in vets, and they told me in certain phases of the moon, like new moon or full moon, animals somehow behave different. They get sick. Even men and women here, we somehow our biological actually changes by the moon phase. Okay, I think everybody can understand that.
Yeah, I
So
blame my
those
weight
are
shift
some
every
of
time
them.
when the moon
Yeah.
changes. Yeah, you're right. This is moon weight right now. So, what first made you realize that this problem was important enough to build a business around?
Okay, so yeah, people talk about me different ways, and I appreciate them all. I really appreciate Hercley, but I consider myself just a curious boy, just a little boy that he's curious and wants to learn more and understand the nature around himself. So, and I'm also want to know how the things work. So when I was let me give you this, about like 5, 6 years old, somebody came to our house and brought me a very expensive gift. It was a very expensive watch. So I put it on my hand. I never forget that moment, me and my sister, and we set it up, and we said hello to the guest, got the gift, ran to the room, and guess what was the first thing I did after I locked the room? I started opening the clock to watch to see how it works. And suddenly something jumped up, and I got scared, and my dad called me to come out and say thank you again because the guest is leaving. I just wrapped it up here on my wrist without having the inside of it. I went over there and said appreciate it and thanked the person and came back. So that's me. I always wanted to see how things work. And now when I grow up, I want to see how the universe works. So I was teaching astronomy for a long time in the institute in Iran. And just because among my peers, I was the only person who figured out how the planets are moving, all that stuff. And eclipse is very important also. This is another event that's happened to us, and I was one of the luckiest people that saw the eclipse in Iran in a way that it was very unusual, which I can explain another time. So all the way up, when I studied, I found out, I came up with some research that I was doing to understand the earthquakes and a lot of other things. At one point, I met the president of Iran over there in that time due to my research, and he gave me 15 minutes because he was interested about my research. But instead of 15 minutes, I think it ended up like about an hour and 15. And he wanted me to pursue my research and then come back to him. Well, I got a chance to come to the United States, and I said bye-bye. I didn't continue that. When I came to the United States, I published, I continued my research about earthquake. In 2012, I published an ebook about how to predict a significant earthquake. I used the lunar and sonar, and without looking at the gravity or without looking at the normal things that scientists are looking for, I came up with a method that I could predict an earthquake. That was weird, but just sun and moon mechanical movement in our solar system. So I published that, and I was waiting to see if that happened or not, and to my surprise, it happened in the same location, same energy, and in the same time. So I did it again for 2013, and it happened. Then I found out that other things are happening, like natural disasters, like hurricanes. Have you ever thought why hurricanes are seasonal? Because it's aligned with the timing. That not our clock is the natural timing. So it's related to the rotation of Earth around the sun. At some angles, the hurricanes start picking up and then going down. It has nothing to do with the weather. It has some extent, but not as much. Also earthquakes, also volcano activities, and tornadoes. So I found out that this platform that I invented for myself is very useful. And until last year, I said, you know what, let me bring it out, because I think there are other people that they are interested to have this in their life. And once you use it, you will not unuse it.
And is that when you turn it into a business, or when did you meet Gary and turn it into a business?
Yeah.
When is that, Gary? Is that when you entered the picture?
All right, so Gary, tell us, how did you approach building the team and the partners and this into a business? And what are we looking at here as far as a business?
Well, first I evaluated what Shah was looking at and the viability, and I'm going to share some facts with everybody. 2 billion Muslims pray 5 times a day. Ramadan just took place. If they had this device, they'd know exactly the direction, literally the direction that they needed to pray. When you're surrounded by urban buildings and you don't know exactly where you need to be praying, and you have a device in your hand, on your phone, on your laptop, that's important. It's faith. There are 2 billion Asians that do the same thing with Lunar to celebrate their ceremonies, their religious faith, their beliefs. Talk about commercialization. 180 million Americans and Canadians are outdoors folks. They get lost in the forest. They want to know what the tide is like when they want to go surf. They want to have a picnic. They want to know if the clouds are going to rain or if they're going to pass. Natural Time Systems platform can tell you that and a lot more. Potentially 20 different pieces of information will be supplied by what Shah has created. You can pick as few or as many as you want and correlate the information. Right now, it would take multiple devices, multiple platforms to put all this together.
And
Simplicity.
Sorry, it's time.
Okay. It's about simplicity.
Yeah, it's about time, right?
Yes.
And to tell them the right time and the positioning. How can the Henderson community help you guys get off the ground and continue moving in the right direction? What are you looking for from Tech Alley Henderson and the folks here in the room?
It's simple. We have QR codes. You have a document in front of you. Join us. Just simply hit the QR code and apply to subscribe. And if you have an interest, continue to subscribe so we can show investors there's an earnest interest in this country, in this community, around. That's the first and most important thing. If we can demonstrate, as you all know, as entrepreneurs, interest, legitimate interest, that is tremendously helpful. That allows us to get funding, to find other partners who can provide technology and the assistance that we need as a very small business that started in December. And we're here now. And we're ready to launch in 60 days. And we'd like you to join us.
And this is for both of you. This is my last question. If you want anybody to walk out of here with one thing, what would it be?
If you're interested in better health, if you're interested in being more aligned with nature, or have an idle curiosity, visit us, check out what we are creating. If you don't like it, you can delete it. It's as simple as that. But I think a lot of you will be pleasantly surprised to what you're going to find out. If nothing else, we're going to gamify the experience. We're going to want to learn more what you guys want to do, what information is important to you, because at the end of the day, it is all about what you need, just in a natural way.
All right.
If I want to add one sentence,
Yes,
is
go
that
ahead.
700 years ago, the clock was invented. In the 700 years, the only thing they did is that they just added more precision to it with atomic things. We were using clocks that they were using gravity to measure the time by water clocks and sand clocks, and then we have some other methods like shadow of the pin on the sundial. But all of them are gone, and we have a bunch of numbers, 1 to 12 and 12 to 1 again, that we're following that. Once you use this platform, the only thing I can tell is that you go back to connect to the nature, and that connection will remain there because you will see the benefits right away as soon as you start. I hope this benefits you and every other person who's using that.
All right. I think we have maybe one or two questions. Time for one or two. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up?
Please don't ask questions.
Okay, well, there you go.
I have one last final comment. How many here, by a show of hands, are familiar with Farmer's Almanac? Think of this as almost Farmer's Almanac digitized and on steroids.
Wow. All right. Gary Gottlieb, Shaw, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. All right, give me a round of applause. Thank you so much.